èrè ní tiwa. Lọ́lá Olúwa èrè ní tiwa. Lọ́lá Olúwa èrè ní tiwa. Ọwọ́ ẹni tó ti sọnù ń kọ́. Ayé la bá, ayé la fi sílẹ̀ sí. Ìrònà wọ́n èèyàn wò. Àgbájọ wọn mà ní. Wọ́n ló gbẹ́rù lórí àwọn ọmọ wa, ẹ má má jẹ́ kan tàràkà. Èmi la rí o, kò máa sẹ́ni tó mọ̀la. Ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ ayé yìí ẹ̀dá kan tọ̀ lẹ́yìn ni. Kápára kọ̀ọ̀ká lórí. Ojú tẹlẹ́gàn lágbára àbámi ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ mi àṣẹ. Ọ̀pá kan ò péjọ. Ẹ jẹ́ kójú yín. Àgbájọ wọn mà ní. Wọ́n ló gbẹ́rù lórí àwọn ọmọ wa, ẹ má má jẹ́ kan tàràkà. Èmi la rí o, kò máa sẹ́ni tó ṣe láyé yìí, ẹ̀dá kan tọ̀ lẹ́yìn ni.
Hello.
Ẹni rí bọ̀ ẹ́. Tó fẹ́ kú pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ o. Ọwọ́ ẹni tó ti sọnù ń kọ́. Ayé la bá, ayé la fi sílẹ̀ sí. Ìrònà wọ́n èèyàn wò. àgbájọ wọn mà ní. Wọ́n ló gbẹ́rù àwọn ọmọ wa ẹ má jẹ́ kó tálákà. Èmi máa rí o, kò máa ṣẹ́jà tó bọ̀ra. Ìṣèlú ayé yìí ẹ̀dá kan tọ̀ lẹ́yìn. Ojú tẹlẹ́kàn lágbára bá mi ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ mi ránṣẹ́.
You don't miss us, Abby. Eh? Hello. Ẹ jẹ́ kó ju yín là kẹ́wàá rí i pé kẹ́lẹ́ ìtọ́gbẹ́. Àpájọ wọn pàdé. Wọ́n ló gbẹ́rù lórí àwọn ọmọ wa ẹ má jẹ́ kó tálákà. Ìnílá ni o, ọmọ sẹ́jà tó bọ̀ra. Ìṣèlú ayé yìí ẹ̀dá kan tọ̀ lẹ́yìn. Kápálá pọ̀ káròrí. Ojú tẹlẹ́kàn lágbára ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ mi ránṣẹ́. Àgbààgbà ìlú iṣẹ́ o, ìgbà o. Ìgbà mi iṣẹ́ o, ìgbà o. Ọmọdé ìlú lójúbà o, ṣé ó fi bà mí ṣe o, ìgbà o. Ọmọdé ìlú lójúbà o, ìgbà mi ṣe o, ìgbà o. Ọkùnrin ìlú mọ́júbà o, ìgbà mi ṣe o, ìgbà o. Ọkùnrin ìlú mọ́júbà o, ìgbà mi ṣe o, ìgbà o. Obìnrin ìlú mọ́júbà o, ṣé ó fi bà mí ṣe o, ìgbà yẹn o. Obìnrin ìlú mọ́júbà o, ìgbà mi ṣe o, ìgbà o. Ẹ̀sọ̀pẹ̀lẹ́ ayé yìí máa lẹ̀, ẹ̀sọ̀pẹ̀lẹ́ ayé yìí máa lẹ̀. Ayé o, ayé o, ayé o, ayé o. Ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣọ́ra fáyé. Ẹ̀sọ̀pẹ̀lẹ́ ayé yìí máa lẹ̀, ẹ̀sọ̀pẹ̀lẹ́ ayé yìí ṣe o. Ayé o, ayé o, ayé o, ayé o. Ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣọ́ra fáyé. Ẹ jẹ́ ká fẹ̀sọ̀ jayé o. Ó yẹ ká fẹ̀sọ̀ jayé. Ayé o, ayé o, ayé o, ayé o. Ẹ má jẹ́ ká fẹ̀sọ̀ jayé. Ayé o, ayé o, ayé o, ayé o. Ẹ má jẹ́ ká fẹ̀sọ̀ jayé o. Ẹ̀sọ̀pẹ̀lẹ́ láyé máa gbà o. Ẹ má jẹ́ ká fẹ̀sọ̀ jayé. Ayé o, ayé o, ayé o, ayé o. Ó yẹ ká fẹ̀sọ̀ jayé. Ayé o, ayé o, ayé o, ayé o. Ẹ má jẹ́ ká fẹ̀sọ̀ jayé.
Spotify Premium lets you take
Only Lord, I am oh Lord, oh Lord, oh my oh we are you are the Soltu, da vem solsi, da vem lati aí, titi desenho, anyone, unini, Jehosimore, 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 mama. Baba mi, ọ̀nà rẹ̀ dákun yé wá tirẹ̀ yé wá kọ́ra rẹ̀ bó wá sáré oṣù ìwọ ló lára rẹ̀ ó lè bọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀rẹ́ yé wá para rẹ̀ ó máa ní ọ̀rọ̀ mi àbí ní. Oh, I thought you were the end. You were the me. Baba veyi so tun, da veyi so si, kawa veyi láti ayin, títí dé sẹ́yìn. Ẹni oníyìí, ṣé mo ti mọ ọ̀rẹ́? Jehosimore, me. Jehosimore, mama. Jehosimore, baba me. Say time no dey aside, say for our world they quick they die, and I go love her till I die, but our hearts don't turn to stone. The man say market no dey sell, everything it cost it pass before, but our governor he fight it pass before. One day I don't come to chop. The politicians say no the truth, say nobody won't hear the truth. He take power, take bulletproof, buy properties overseas. No we create the world, no be you create the world. We dey point the finger at each other. time, but I didn't waste the people time. My plan is good, my method has show everybody they talk say I do. They always they like to say themselves to avoid the mistake of the past. So you know they ever feel forget the people wait for your hand. You create yourself. No, you create myself. We live on the life each other. We know we create the world. Everybody wants something. Everybody don't forget. Say now our word and our action. And they shape reality.
All right. Good morning, everyone. If you can hear me loud and clear, can you put the chat box? I need to be sure that I'm audible so that we can get started immediately. So if you can hear me, can you drop a chat in the chat box? We are starting already. We're starting already. I think we have a lot to cover, and I intentionally had to come early today because last time we had this live, I started late, right? I started like maybe I think 30 minutes late, and we couldn't do a lot of things. We couldn't do a lot of things. But I had to come early today so that we'll be able to talk and communicate and analyze the market. And I think for now, like immediately I got to the office this morning, I've been able, but I'm just going to start the analysis with you all over again. Right? I've been able to analyze gold and silver strategy, right? That I used to trade all these commodities. But if there's any pair that you also want me to analyze, feel free to put it in the chat box. But before then, I need to be sure that I'm audible because I'm streaming live from YouTube. I'm not streaming my OBS videos today because I think that one just took my time the last time. So uh I just decided to bypass that. Hey, Apt FX, don't play. Apt FX, one and only. Twali, it's good to have you here. It's good to have you here. And I hope you're ready to lock in some profit this week, right? Because we are just going to be analyzing some A setups. And I mean, we're going to be showing ourselves as usual. Mr. Deleke, you can hear you. That's perfect. That's perfect. So I think I'm good to go, right? So I can get started immediately. All right. Before we move on, please don't forget again that if you feel that you are trying to check a pair, John, Mr. John, trust you're good, bro. Mr. John, I've not been seeing your hand, John. This is not the arrangement we had, though. No, we had plans. We had some plans. What's going on? I've not been seeing you. Like I expect to see you. I was expecting I would see you back to back. That's what I was expecting. But John, what's going on? Don't snooze on Forex. Forex is a life-changing business. So it is a life-changing business. And the earlier you get serious with it, the better. The earlier you get serious with it, the better. Like I said during the training that you came for then, that I don't think there is any business in the world that is as highly scalable as Forex is. Forex is a business that with small capital you can start and scale up to become to turn it into something that is big, right? And I remember I told you, like you can be trading your demo accounts, just a small account like that, and then you make a lot of money from that demo account. Because it is not actually that you're going to withdraw the money from the demo account, but then you can sell that skill. The fact that you can multiply money, the fact that you can grow money, You can sell it out and then get people to fund you, and before you know it, before you think of it, your portfolio has increased drastically and you are living the life. You are living the life. So please, the earlier you get yours in forex, the better. And this applies to everyone. This applies to everyone. All right. So I don't derail from the purpose of this live. We're just going to start our analysis. But then congratulations for those that joined, because this time around I'm going to take my time to break some certain things down. Now, when you guys see me catching pips on gold, 700 pips on gold, 300 pips on gold on the steady, right? And I posted something in the Telegram group that these days market has been erratic. So anytime I put my risk to reward, I always target like 1 to 5, 1 to 6. But once I see the market has moved two in my favor, I close half of the profit. I mean, that is half of my risk, or that is my risk already. So on that trade, I know that I'm not losing anything. I already have something I've gotten from that trade. And then I allow the remaining to float. I allow the remaining to float. And if it now eventually hits number 1 to 5, you see me posting on Telegram group with that my dancing, dancing GIF, right? And that is how you can actually trade and be profitable in this time. The market is so uncertain and so unpredictable. It is so uncertain and unpredictable that you just want to, once you have seen your profit, lock in some profit so that you don't eventually get out of the trading loss and leave the rest running risk free. Okay. Now, if you have been wondering how I've been able to catch those kind of pips on gold, I'm going to be explaining to you the simple SMC strategy that I use. The simple SMC strategy that I use. Now, before I think of anything, I've started already. I've started already. So before I think of anything on the market, the first thing I look at is what is happening on the higher time frame. So that's the first thing I consider. That's why a lot of people do top-down analysis the wrong way, right? They just start analyzing from weekly, from some people from monthly to week. By the time they get to day, they will start getting confused because they don't even know the direction again. Because on weekly, it can be telling them it's uptrend. On daily, it can be or H4 or H1, it can be telling them it's downtrend. They just get confused, right? It's better not to complicate your strategy. That is always my song. So the only thing I do on higher time frame is to check the higher time frame bias. And the bias is market bullish or is market bearish? It is that would actually strengthen my decision to the point that, for example, if market is, if market is bullish on higher time frame, bullish meaning that I'm not talking about the current candle, I'm talking about the overall sentiment. If it's to the upside, let's say the market is pushing more to the upside, the buyers are winning. When I see that the buyers are winning on higher time frame in this bullish momentum, is to buy on lower time frame. So the only thing chat so that I can know that you're following YouTube. My video was just disconnected and I was just talking and I didn't know. And till now I've not figured the reason why. So please, intermittently, can you please update me if you can hear me loud and clear and react so that I'm sure that you're following. Okay. Now that's for bullish momentum. And if I see a bearish momentum on the higher time frame, I sell. I look for sell on the lower time frame. Can you guys still hear me? Am I still audible? And hope you can see my screen. Let's be fast. Let's be fast. So that we're following. Ah, perfect. Thank you, Mr. Adeleke. All right. So the first thing is I go to my daily time frame. And when I mean higher time frame, I don't even bother to go to weekly or monthly. Although by the time I see that, if I see that the market is so unclear on the daily time frame, I can move to the weekly time frame to buyers, right? So that's the first thing. That's the first thing you need to realize. Now, what do I do? Let me show you. Let me show you so that I don't complicate it for you. So let me go to my daily time frame now. And this is XAUUSD gold. So you are free to open your chart and also follow me with this analysis, right? So this is gold, our almighty gold, our beautiful gold, one and only gold, our the love of our lives. Right? I know a lot of you like gold, so there's no point pretending. I know some people that they are just getting started in forex, and the only thing they are thinking of is I just want to be trading gold, say, because they have realized that gold can give them a lot of money. Okay, so on higher time frame, overall, I mean, market has been on the high side for gold. Market has been up. So the momentum on gold is to the upside. It has been to the upside. The only time there was a 3,000, like this, it was about maybe 12,000 pips drop. It was just within 2 days or 3 days. After that, market resumed to the upside. There is a tendency that gold is going to go back to the all-time high, because don't forget, the news of war is bad news for global economy, right? War is a bad news for global economy. So all those big investors that are investing in the stock of all those countries, in the economy of all those countries, want to pull out their resources and keep it in safe haven assets. And an example of safe haven assets is gold. Gold is in fact, gold is one of the safest assets in the world, because the value of gold still remains solid after so many years. The value of gold, if you have been buying gold for how many years ago, you are still profitable. You're still going to be profitable. It's not like this thing that will just cryptocurrency that will just wake up one day and decide to go to the downside. Right? That is not the same for gold. Okay, I have a friend in Turkey, and this is a Turkish, and this guy, the only thing he does, he just sold his car recently and he bought gold with it. And I was like, why will you sell your car? He said, there's no issue. Like the gold is gold. Gold will always be gold. He will still get the value of his money eventually. But he said it was even better for him to buy gold than to keep that money in Turkish liras. That's to tell you that it is a safe haven. So with that and with this war intensifying, there is a very high tendency that gold is going to push to the upside, at least get to the all-time high. Now, if gold decides to get to the all-time high, don't forget, I'm still going to release a series on how to identify support and resistance as peak and trough. Watch out for that series on this channel, right? So now there is a tendency that gold is going to do this kind of move, right? And then get reacted, like react to that peak. And then if finally it could break to the upside, some people are projecting that it will definitely gets to 6,000, but we never can tell. Like, I don't guess. I don't want to guess. I just want to work with what I have at the moment. So that has not happened. And I'm not intending to buy gold to that point. I'm not an investor in gold. I'm a trader of gold. I just want to trade the volatility of gold and get out of the market. Right? It is those that are keeping it for their children, for their next of kin, that would be holding long-term positions like like that. All right. Moving on. So the overall sentiment here is to the bullish, to this upside rather, is bullish. And this is also fueled by the war news, by this news of war, by this war sentiment. So I believe technically and fundamentally that gold, as moving up, it just retraces, corrected itself a little, and is going back to that level. And there is possibly going to be a reaction on that level. But then between where price is at the moment and that level, market is still about, look at it, there's still about to the all-time high. So gold is 4,000 pips away to the all-time high. Now looking at this, look at this 4,000 pips. So I'm going to be getting ready to position myself to take out of that 4,000 pips, right? So that's what I do. Now the next thing you guys need to is, after this, I've concluded my sentiment on gold on the higher time frame, then I will go to lower time frame. Then I start my analysis on H1. I start my analysis on H1. The reason why I'm also going to the lower time frame is so that I'll be able to get a good risk to reward. so that I'll be able to get a good risk to reward. Imagine if I'm doing my setup on daily time frame and his gold is giving me like maybe 4,000 pips stop loss. Where will I see that money? To be risking 4,000 pips to make how much? To make how much? So that's why you go to lower time frame to see what is happening on the lower time frame. And on H1 at H1 time frame, there has been a struggle. A market has not been able to break out of this high. Although there is a tendency that market is going to break out of that high because from your basic understanding of chart patterns, you can see that it is pushing more to the resistance than it is pushing to the support. You can see the market is trying to break out of that resistance. And you know that automatically, if that resistance gets broken, we are going to see a possible move, another possible move to this upside, right? This is possibly going to happen if there is a break. Don't forget, I only use SMC for gold. So I don't need to start doing all these price actions analysis for you. Although there is a level I just use price action understanding because I'm very good when it comes to price action to combine it with my SMC to pick a direction. Now, let me delete all this because I don't like my chart to be so dirty and filled with so many lines. Gold is going to break out of this level. That's the only thing I can see so far on the H1 time frame. So I'm just going to move straight to where I always take my entry. And take note, I always take my entry on gold on the 15 minutes, 5 minutes, or 1 minute time frame. So if I see a good setup on for 15 minutes, I take it. Although I prefer to go and look for that setup on 5 minutes so that we to reward, or 1 minute so that we even get the best risk to reward. So let's go to 15 minutes. Don't forget, sentiment is that gold is going to go to the upside. And now, understanding this, on the 15 minutes time frame, I can barely see anything. The only thing I can see here is market has been making this simple move. And from the understanding of market structure, now it means that this level has been broken to the upside, right? For market structure understanding, you believe me that this is going to be your higher high. This is inside trend, not the major trend now. And this is going to be your higher low, higher high, higher low. And market has broken out to form a new higher high, right? So that's the only thing I can see on 15 minutes. Although I can see that there is still a very strong level on the 15 minutes time frame that hasn't been broken yet. So I would rather wait on 15 minutes for this level to be broken. But then while waiting, there could be some other entries that you will be able to take on lower time frame. Can you see I'm breaking, guys? I know that I have a projection on the 15 minutes. It is possible that market breaks to the upside on 15 minutes. So I'm still waiting for that break to happen. Please, if you can still hear me and you can still see my screen, make sure you're coming. I don't just want to be talking and probably you guys are not seeing me or my internet is bad or something. So make sure that you are dropping a comment in the chat, right? So that's the only thing I can see on 15 minutes. I can't see any entry on 15 minutes and I'll position myself in. I can't see any big entry on 15 minutes. So I'm just going to be going to the 5 minutes time frame. Now looking at 5 minutes time frame, look at that same one drew. Now on 5 minutes time frame, I can see a change, what we call a change of character at this point. And why did I call it a change of character? I can see that markets are, right? It's cool, good. So market has been pushing downward on the 5 minutes time frame, and then something happened. A new low was not formed. A new low was not formed. Yeah, I'm going to be dropping signals on the Telegram channel. We've not actually dropped any signal this week, so this will probably be our first signal, right? And we'll track it together. And then finally, there was a break to the upside. Now, this is telling me that whatsoever retreat, whatsoever consolidation that has happened before, market is about to resume its push to the upside. And don't forget that my overall sentiment on gold is still to the upside, right? And then from your basic understanding of market structure, this is has formed a new higher high, this formed higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Now, this is where price is at the moment. Price is here at the moment. Now, at this place, the last time market broke the structure was at this point, right? Now, I'm still on market structure, don't forget. So, market structure, this high was broken to the upside to form a new higher high. This was the last higher high. And you can see the market is pulling back at the moment. Now, basically, if it were to be understanding of price action, normally I'm just going to throw in my Fibonacci retracement tool. For those of you that don't understand how to use these tools, there are so many videos online. I'm still going to be dropping some educative content on the YouTube channel for you to learn about how to use these tools. So please, if you are not following us, if you have not subscribed, make sure you go and subscribe and follow and turn on your notification bell, because I'm going to be dropping educative videos on the channel. Now, if I put my Fibonacci, ideally some of you will look out for this 50 level or 60 level or 61.8 level, but that's not where I'm going to be looking at, because like I told you, I trade SMC with gold. I trade SMC with gold. Okay, so now what I'm going to be looking at is that the move that broke out of this structure, the move that caused the break of structure, where did it start from? That's the first question I'm going to ask myself. Where did that move start from? At least this was the last BOS, right? Break of structure. That was the last break of structure. Now, the move that started the break of structure started at this point. It started at this point that I labeled in circle. Now, it started at this point, and immediately that move started. It gave us a strong impulsive candle. Now, ideally, if you wanted to enter your trade, you would enter at the close of this impulsive candle, right? Right. For those that use probably just basic market structure, previous support and resistance and all that, you're going to enter there. Now, but the move that caused that break of structure started at this point. Now, in our simple SME, we call balance and imbalance. Balance and imbalance. Let me type it out for you. Balance and balance. What does this mean? Balance is when buying momentum and selling momentum is equal. The buyers are dragging the price, the sellers are driving the price. It has created an small candles like your doji, spin it up, like your inverted hammer shootings, all those. My Can you guys hear me? Not today. Come on. Please, can you guys hear me now? Quick one. I just brought out something network, something. So I want to be sure. Can you hear me and can you see my screen? Mr. Ebenezer here. Can you hear me? Okay, perfect. So I'm going to continue. Right? So balance is when you see all those small candles. Let me put it like that. When you see all those small candles, like all these pin bars, I call them pin bars. I categorize all of them as pin bars. Any candle that does not have body, any lepa, call it lepa, or any slim, it's not slim thick, it's just slim candle. Okay, so any slim candle like that, we call it a balanced market. That means buyers are dragging, sellers are dragging. And you would always notice that before every imbalance is now when one of the party wins. Probably the buyers won or the sellers won. That is imbalance. So before any major break, there's going to be a consolidation. There's going to be a balance. So that means before every imbalance, there's going to be a balance in the market. So look at this. Before this break of structure started, you can even see, let me delete this. Like I'm really taking my time to explain this thing to you guys today, right? You can even see all these small candles forming here, all these ones. This is an example of an imbalance in the market. Oh, sorry, this is an example of a balanced market because buyers are dragging, sellers are dragging. But then there was a big break, boom, buyers won the market. And this was the move that started this break of structure. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to tag that place, like Ebenezer said, I'm going to tag that place as my other block, right? I'm going to tag it as my other block. A lot of you have learned SMC online, but they have complicated it, made it so hard, made it look as if you need high intelligent quotient to trade SMC, but that's a lie. Everything is calm. It's as simple as you understanding market structure and understanding when there is an impulse and when there is consolidation, right? So how do I now identify my other block? I'm going to now look for the last candle before that imbalance started. The last balance candle, and the last balance candle over here is this one right here. So I'm going to put my rectangle tool, mark the high to the low, and draw it out. Now, what does that mean? This place becomes my of interest. So this particular place is point of interest. And why is it also my point of interest? Because apart from the fact that that imbalance started in the market, I can also spot something we call a fair value gap. Now, I didn't mention this one in the last live session that we did. I didn't mention fair value gap in a very simple way possible. Now, what is fair value gap? Fair value gap is like, it's like something I also use to confirm if this is a very good point of interest, right? So fair value gap is when after a balanced market, when market just decide to pick race and run in one direction, whereby leaving a gap. Now you can see that after this balanced candle, market just shot up to the upside. A very good bullish candle just shot up to the upside. And after that, now you can see that the third candle that formed, this is the first candle. Let me put my arrow. This is the first candle. Second candle. Third candle. Candles. You can see that the first candle was where there was balanced market. The second candle imbalance. Now the third candle did not even come back to my first candle because market shot up so fast that it created a gap, and that is the gap they call fair value gap in Forex, in SMC, right? So that is my fair value gap. Now, how do I now mark my fair value gap? I can just use my horizontal tool here. I mean, I'm supposed to just analyze briefly and run away from here, but I don't know why I'm taking my time to explain this to you. I think now that I've explained this, in the next session, I'm just going to be analyzing different pairs so that I don't waste time explaining this again. So please make sure that you watch this video again. I'm still going to post this video on the YouTube page for you to check it again. So how do I mark my fair value gap? From the high of the first candle to the low of the third candle, this is the gap that was created. FAG, right? Now, I always want to see my FAG and my point of interest and my demand zone. My demand zone is this, my point of interest. Demand zone means where buyers are waiting to actually enter their position, right? Now, there are so many other terms like liquidity pool, liquidity grab, all those ones. Just keep all those ones at one side, because if you don't keep it at one side, you're going to mess up with your mind. You have to keep your strategy as simple as possible, right? Now, what am I now expecting from this market? Market has given me a good point of interest, and it is accompanied by a fair value gap immediately. So the only thing I'm just going to do is Okay, I'm going to change my screen to white. I didn't know you can't see my screen well. Wow. Is this better? Are you sure this is better? If this is better, please can you respond? Oh, that's good. I didn't know. I didn't know. Sorry about that. All right. So after I've mapped out my point of interest and my fair value gap, the next thing, this is the 5 minutes time frame. And don't forget my overall sentiment is to the upside. But now it is going to take market 4,000 pips before it gets to my upside on the daily time frame. So I want to take 500 pips, I want to take 300 pips and run before price even gets there. So what am I going to do? I'm just going to position myself, my long position on my point of interest. Some people use the conference of fair value gap and point of interest, blah, blah, blah. All those things are consolidation. I only use fair value gap as a confirmation of a strong point of interest. That's all. That's all. So I'm going to put my entry at the top of my point of interest, right? And then where will I put my stop loss? That's what another like other traders too struggle with. They will now put their stop loss here. Now, because of my knowledge of price action, I don't want to put my stop loss here. I feel that it's too tight. Market can just trigger it. And you know that even your so-called SMC, those that you are trading against, they know all these things. So you want to position yourself at a very strategic place. So what am I going to do? I'm going to put my stop loss at the low of the candle that started that move, right? At the lowest low around this range. So I'm going to drag it after this candle. Can you see that? As I'm dragging it, this is already giving me 115 pips stop loss. So I'm going to be using 115 pips stop loss on gold. Now, I also need to be careful. I like to target the lowest I target is 1 to 3, because eventually it is your statistics that is going to give you an edge in the market, right? So putting my stop loss here, I want to target at least 1 to 3, and this is going to be my 1 to 3. 1 to 3, and I feel that market is still going to push to this upside. Don't forget the overall sentiment is to the upside. So ideally, I'm supposed to get this kind of market coming down to mitigate my point of interest and then shoot to the upside, right? And then shoot to the upside. And then of course I can see that there is a consolidation at this top place, right? Let me use my rectangle. Where is my rectangle? Right now they call it the buy side liquidity, or what's it called in SMC. Now it is just my basic knowledge of price action that I'm using to check this. Okay, now I don't want to take my profit at this tip. Why should I take my profit at this tip, at this peak? Because if I decide that I want to take my profit over here, what if market reacts to the consolidation around this area and then come down and eventually it doesn't eat my take profit? So I want to be careful of that too, right? So let's say for this market, I'm just going to be targeting 1 to 4. Now 1 to 4 is a very good risk to reward. Don't forget, 1 to 4 has already given you that edge in the market. And that is how you always see that whenever price touches my point of interest, most times it always rallies up, gives me 300 pips, 400 pips, 500 pips, and by then I would have closed half of my profit and I'm just chilling risk-free. Even if the trade eventually goes down to hit my stop loss, I know that I've taken profit out of that market again. For example, the projection I'm looking at in this market now is, I'm trying to cut everything so that I don't eventually talk too much, because we're still going to analyze another pair together, right? So the projection I have on gold now is that I'm going to get this kind of move, right? And market is going to shoot up. Now don't forget, this is good. Guess what? My take profit here is 462 pips. 462 pips. That's a lot. And 462 pips means if is the lowest in Forex, that is $42 waiting to be made. And I'm risking $11 to make $42. It's just waiting for me. And I know that it is just $11. That's if you use 0.01. But if you are using good lot size like 0.10, that's $110 at risk for me to make how much? For me to make 460 something dollars. And this could play out in a day. And don't forget, this is 55 minutes time frame. What we are talking about can get triggered in any moment from now, right? But don't forget, at times price can leave us behind. That is why some of our pending orders don't get activated. But before I say that, let's quickly go and lock in on our chart. Please, you can go and lock it in. Just put so for now you are going to be our, what's our entry going to be? Let me put it. So that means you are setting a buy limit. So we are setting a buy limit at 5,134.44. Our stop loss is at 5,122.91, and our take profit is at 5,180.72. Is that correct? Our risk to reward 124. So for this market, you are risking 1% of your capital to get 4%. So you can just go ahead and lock it in on your chart. We'll keep tracking this, right? Now, there are times that markets will not go and mitigate our point of interest. It will just leave us behind. It is always a painful time. At times, markets will come like this and then shoot up. Be like, oh my God, I missed out on this trade. There is no pressure. Like, why will you panic? Yakubu, you have to manage because markets will still give you your entry very soon. So there's no point. You always see this play out on the chart every time. So that one that you missed out will not kill you. It will not kill you. And as a good trader, it is not every time you want to trade. You only trade when your setup plays out. So right now, with my buy limit locked in, I'm not even looking at gold again for now until I see the market has pulled up. Now, do you know another thing? The funniest thing is that if market does not trigger our point of interest and it continues to the upside, let's imagine that we got a break. That means this level has automatically become your break of structure. And if this becomes your break of structure, what's going to happen? This level becomes your new point of interest. And this is going to be your fair value gap. And what do you do again? You position yourself again and keep riding gold till eternity. And then you put your take profits up there too. And then you just keep going, you just keep going. Now, what you are doing is that the overall sentiment is to the upside, and you are just riding the trend, but you are not just riding it like a novice, like those Bitcoin people that they just want to keep buying to the moon. You are riding it like someone with sense, that you are waiting for a very major retracement, a major pullback to happen before you set in again. Now, don't forget that if this pullback happens, some of the people that have done price action or maybe put their Fibonacci would have gotten stopped out. People are just entering at probably 90 something percent retracement level before you ride it again. I'm not saying that it is better. I'm a price action trader myself. I only trade this on gold and other commodities. But then you just have to understand your market. You need to understand your market. So I think that is my full analysis on gold. That is my projection for this morning. That's my projection for this morning on gold. So if you have any question, and if you want me to analyze any pair for you now, we still have a few minutes. But then the next pair I'm going to be looking at is silver. So let's take a look at silver. Let's see what silver has for us. So let's repeat the same process. We are repeating the same process. The first thing we are going to do is to go to our daily time frame. I don't actually need to go to daily time frame to know what is happening on silver, because gold is going up, silver is going to go up too. Right? It's not far-fetched. So now this is my overall sentiment on silver. Now what's happening on silver? Market pushed and then it did a massive retracement just like gold did. And I can see that after that retracement ended, market has been preparing for another. You can see the market has been doing series of highs, broke this high, is coming again. So there is a projection that at the very least is going to get to this place again, even if it's not going to come down, right? And don't forget, this is high time. From this level to this level, that's good number of pips. But then don't forget that this is just there's a projection that market is still going to push to this upside. So there is a lot to take on this daily time frame on silver. Please, can you guys still hear me? Can you zoom your screen? Okay, After Effects, I got you. All right, so the overall sentiment for me on silver, the silver is more volatile. It is not child's play. It is not child's play, right? And that is why I don't want to do any analysis on daily time frame, right? So I'm just going to go straight to my 15 minutes time frame. Let me start looking for position 15 minutes. Or let's start from each one. Let's see what is happening on each one first. Okay, so right here on H1, I can see market consolidation around this area. You can see how simple I'm analyzing Forex. It doesn't have to be, some of you draw your charts. That's like na small game when I put dragon. You put so many shape, butterfly, a lot of things, eagle, and all those things, snake in the eagle shadow. You do that on your chart, and eventually you still make loss. So why don't you just keep it simple? And if you make that loss, right? And when you make that profit, make that profit. It's as simple as that, right? Okay. So now I can see a push to the upside on the H1 time frame. I can see that market has broken this high, right, to cause a change in character and a break of structure. Okay, now the move that started this break to the upside started here. You guys don't want me to analyze any pair. It's like you're satisfied with just gold and silver, right? If you want me to analyze any pair for you, put it in the chat box. Okay, all right. So the move that caused that break of structure started at this point. So I'm going to mark this 1 point of interest. And then what am I expecting? I'm expecting a push to this side to mitigate it and then go to the upside. Yes, the JPY. All right, I got you. So let's just check that same move on 15 minutes. Now, this is that same beautiful move on the 15 minutes time frame. So what I'm going to do is that I am going to now start adjusting my point of interest on the 15 minutes time frame, because if you look at it, the move that actually caused that break to the upside, you know, this is our box on H1, another box here, because this is now the move on 15 minutes. This was a big move on 15 minutes time frame. So I'm just going to delete, because of better risk to reward. I'm just going to delete. I'm rushing now. 15 minutes to go. I'm just going to delete this H1 box. Okay. I'm going to delete this H1 box. So what do we have? That means I'm going to be putting, and this, of course, this is going to be my fair value gap on N15. But then I'm still like concerned about better risk to reward. So I'm going to go to the 5 minutes time frame to look for that same move. And on 5 minutes time frame, I can see that the move started at exactly this place. So I'm going to adjust my point of interest again. Although all things being equal, this does not actually matter, but this is just going to probably reduce my entry price so that I don't enter at high price. I want to enter at the lowest price. Okay. Now, this is silver, don't forget. So what I'm just going to do is that, okay, where's my fair? Do I have my fair value gap there? Of course, I have my fair value gap from here to here. That's my fair value gap. And then what's going to happen? I'm going to position myself ready. So we are going to lock in silver too, if we want. I'm going to position my buy order here. And ideally, some of you put your stop loss at this place. But for me, because I care about price action as well, I'm going to put my stop loss at the lowest point here. Right? And of course, I'm a ride to this upside. This is about 1 to 5. That's a very good risk to reward. That's all. As simple as that. Now, because I have to take time, that's why we spend so much time. Now, you can see that I'm done with my analysis on silver. I'm done with my analysis now on silver. So let's go and lock in at a buy limit at 80.867. Stop loss at 742. TP at 89.141. Risk to reward is what? 1 to 5. And we are good. So feel free to go and lock in this trade also at your end. That means we have 2 trades that we are looking at. We have 2 trades that we're looking at for now: XAUUSD and XAGUSD. All right. So Ebenezer said I should check USD JPY. So what do we have on USD JPY? So of course, I'm going to still analyze it based on what I've taught you so far. I don't use price SMC on currency pair. I already mentioned that. But then I'm still going to analyze it with the simple SMC because that is what we are talking about, right? So USD JPY upside, right? A bullish momentum on USD JPY. But at the same time, I can see that there might be an hindrance to this move very soon. Because whenever price touch this level on D1 daily time frame, price is probably going to get rejected slightly. So let's go to H1. The overall sentiment is still bullish, but then it is close. So I'm going to go to H1 first. So what am I seeing on H1? What am I seeing on H1? So I can actually see simple market structures on H1. I can see simple market structure on H1, and this was the last break of structure on H1 level. Now, what is happening? What is happening? I can't see any good point of interest on H1 level. The reason is because don't forget, I want to buy. And even if I'm buying, I want to buy to this upside, this D1 peak, right? So, but I still have a bullish momentum. Okay, so I want to buy. And before I buy, I look for a good point of interest to buy. Now, ideally, this was supposed to be where my point of interest will lie, around this area. But then I can't see a balanced market that turned to imbalance. I can see 2 imbalanced markets. So it is unpredictable, but then never say never. I'm going to go to my 15 minutes time frame to see what actually happened there. On my 15 minutes time frame, I still can't see any balanced market yet. On 15 minutes time frame, ideally some people will still check this level, the second level next to it, and I still can't see any balanced market turn to balanced market yet. Don't forget, I'm sticking strictly with my strategy. So the last one I'm going to check is the 5 minutes time frame. No, 5 minutes time frame. I can't see anything. So left to me for GPYPS, I'm not going to even move near it because I can't see my entry. Although at the same time, if you want to now take short positions, you can look at selling scenarios because on 50 minutes time frame, I can see the market has been consolidating to the downside, even despite the fact that the overall sentiment is to the upside. But I can still spot some good points. For example, I can see this. Oh, you've been selling, that's good. So I can actually see this. Let me check the 15 minutes. Okay, I think, let me guess, did you catch yourself from here? Because if you caught yourself from here, that wouldn't be a good risk to reward. It wouldn't be a good risk to reward if you caught yourself from here, right? So ideally, if you wanted to sell, you would have waited for price to pull back to this point of interest to sell it to that downside. Okay, so let me go back to the 5 minutes. Let me delete this. I'm going to go. We are ending now. We are ending this live now. Okay. So 5 minutes. So for my 5 minutes time frame, the only thing I can see on 5 minutes time frame for now is for price to push back to this level. Okay, is this what? Oh, you've been selling from the upper level. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. All right, but then for my projection on USD JPY based on this strategy that I've discussed with you, I can wait for a sell scenario at this point. Put my stop loss right here. I think that's about 11 pips, right? And put my take profit down there. 1 to 7 is good. Okay, 1 to 7 is too far-fetched. Okay, so if you want to lock in your USD JPY, I think this is a good one to lock in. But then I'm not going to be locking in USD JPY because my bias on higher time frame is to the upside, not to the downside. So I don't have any reason to be selling. Although if I just want to, okay, let me just go in because I can see a structure or so on M5. That's when I will consider this, right? But it wouldn't be my best trade. If I just enter this, it will just be okay. Let me see what's going to play out. But it wouldn't be my best trade because my bias is to the upside. All right. I think we are good with all these analysis for today. We are good with all this analysis. So I'm going to post the setup again in the Telegram community so that we can follow up on the trades. And if you have any case that you've analyzed and you want me to share insight on it, feel free to drop it in the free WhatsApp community or the Telegram of the community manager, and she'll be there to respond to you. She'll forward it to me and respond to you. I think it has been an amazing one. I can't believe that I am live for 1 hour 21 minutes. This is like the first time. Watching back home now so I can prepare for uh the day. And I guess you guys will see. Please make sure that you subscribe to this channel and follow up on all the content that I'll be dropping. And post it on your status, refer it to your friends. I mean, you would hardly see people that will come online to discuss these things and show you their strategy for free like this. So don't hesitate to subscribe and share this channel with your friends so that we can grow together. Okay. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you again like this on Tuesday, next week Tuesday. Okay. Peace out.
Fill your day with.
Thank you, sir.
We hope on the